I get this question a lot. I've been asked, how do we know the difference between a sin that was inspired to us from Satan and a sin that is inspired to us from ourselves? How do we know the difference? First of all, God gave us this litmus test, or like thermometer. وحين نقرأ القرآن لابد أن نصفي جهاز استقبالنا لحسن استقبال كلام الله. Yeah, that's a very good point. When we start, or when we attempt to read the Holy Quran, we have to clean our receptors. Anywho, we have receptors. Those receptors affect how we react to the Holy Quran. When we listen to the Holy Quran, and when it's being recited to us, or when we read it, we could have very different reactions depending on how clean our receptors are. Now, our receptors are natural devices inserted by God into our self to help us find truth. Now, so that means there shouldn't be a confusion. Which religion is the one true religion? It's really simple. All you have to do is clean your receptors. Like if you're gonna, for example, if you're gonna sell someone like gold or silver, you have to have a very sensitive scale, right? You're not gonna use like the same scale that you use to weigh yourself, right? It has to be very precise, because we're talking about something very valuable. So you use a device that's very sensitive, and before you use it, you make sure that it's clean. If it has dirt and things, and it's gonna affect the reading. So you clean it, you make it ready to receive the information, to give you the best result. The same thing with your heart. Clean your heart before you venture into, finding truth, or before you start religion shopping, choosing the right religion. That's a beautiful journey to embark. That's something that we owe ourselves as human beings. We have to know why we're here and what's after, and we have to find that satisfaction of knowing, like having meaning to your life. Something that people that believe in a religion, these are the ones from my personal experience, are enjoying that, like the best or highest level of that feeling like things make sense. Now, if you want to embark or start that journey, just first work on yourself. Clean your receptors so that you wouldn't miss out on a good religion just because you have bias. So what ruins our receptors? What's the dust that's sitting on our receptors? Media, being programmed, being conditioned, having a closed mind, narrow mind, having like grudges, being angry, especially like using generalization and being angry at a group of people because of a narrative that was sold to you. So you need to work on these things before you attempt finding truth, because other than that, you're just wasting your time. I'm speaking from experience. I was born Muslim, but I chose to put my Islamic belief on hold and completely be unbiased and choose for myself. So speaking from experience, it's 100% doable, and you owe it to yourself. It's doable and it's necessary. Sit with yourself, take your time, and just try to shed away all the biases what the media taught you, what movies taught you, what your parents taught you. If you don't do that, you might as well just continue whatever religion you were spoon-fed as a baby. So but if you truly wanna seek truth, make sure you clean your receptors. And once you do, it's it's 100%. It's 100% guaranteed. A clean heart always like magnet to the Qur'an. Always. Because a human's heart recognizes its maker. ونحن حين نقرأ القرآن لابد أن نصفي جهاز استقباليا لحسن استقبال كلام الله. شو وفي هذه الحالة لا نفعل ذلك بقدراتنا نحن ولا بقوتنا. So when you attempt to cleanse your receptors, just understand we can't 100% do that on our own, with our own power. So first, send an open message to your creator, regardless which religion. You're not sure yet. Just say, God, I know you're out there. Please guide me. I'm willing to choose whichever religion that you communicate with me through my logic, the one that makes the most sense to me. I'm gonna choose it, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it goes against my programming. So, and if you don't help me, I can't do this on my own. I'm gonna just fall into my temptation and comfort zone and just probably end up where I started. So seek help from God even before you know which God He is, before you even know His name. If you know that He's here, and like logically, you can't have such a sophisticated universe just from nothing. Nothing can't make anything. By definition, it's nothing. It doesn't have any power, much less intellect. To attempt something remotely as sophisticated as this universe. Anywho, I'm talking too much today, so I need to focus on the book more, so that we can start the Holy Quran next time, inshallah. لماذا؟ Why؟ لأن معوقات المنهج عند الإنسان المؤمن إنما هي من عمل الشيطان. Because obstacles on the path, how do I translate this? There are obstacles on the path to you living the way you're supposed to live, getting the most out of this life experience and the one after. This straight path, this right path, this way of living is gonna have obstacles. They're not just, magically put there. They're put there deliberately by Satan. And Allah says this in the Holy Quran. He says, if I remember correctly, وعزتك وجلالك لأقعدن لهم طريقك المستقيم. I swear by your glory and your what's the word, عزتك, meaning you don't need anyone else, that I'm gonna be lurking, waiting for them on the straight path. So Satan is not gonna be at the bar. Satan is not gonna be at the brothel. Satan is not gonna be at places where people do evil things. Satan is gonna be on the righteous path. Those who are trying to do the right thing, these are Satan's target audience. But those who are lost, that's his job done for him. He doesn't need to worry about them. Anyways, let's keep going. وإبليس يأتي دائما من الباب الذي يرى فيه المنهج ضعيفا. And Satan always enters, he attacks you from the door where your application of God's righteous way of living is the weakest. For example, I'm still struggling with hijab, so that's the weakest door in my personal experience. I don't like to talk about my personal life, but that's like the best example I could give because I'm feeling it so much. I have other doors, like how I treat my family. Thank God I secured that door. That's locked. How I deal with other people, with there are tons of bad things that can happen from interacting with other people. So me personally, I lock that door by not having any interactions with people that I can do without. Cut. I would much rather, just be alone reading books than just going out and hanging out with friends and have you heard, oh my God, I can't believe she said that. No, thank you. No, thank you. This life, we're here just temporarily. We're like a farmer preparing, like planting for the harvest of afterlife. So this is just, an investment. So let's not lose track. So these doors I've locked, but some doors, because I'm not a perfect Muslim, I'm not a perfect anything. So as you lock doors and secure them, you get tired. Or I don't want to make excuses, but you're not perfect. So your imperfection is gonna, one of the doors is not gonna be locked. It's gonna be closed, but not locked. So he do this, do that. Yeah, you're not wearing a veil, right? Okay, so you might as well do your makeup. Okay, so you're not wearing a veil, you're doing your makeup, you might as well exaggerate your makeup, That red lipstick, oh my God, it's so cute. So be very, very careful. Be self-aware enough to secure as many doors as possible and wise enough to understand your own imperfect human nature so you don't beat yourself up way too much. Instead, make a plan to find a way to lock that door, and if you don't have the lock ready yet, at least close it, put furniture, do something. Don't just sit there and be vulnerable to his temptation. Anyways, فإذا وجد إنسانا متشددا في ناحية يأتي له من ناحية أخرى. Exactly like I was saying. When Satan finds a human that is very strict on one subject, he doesn't fight with you about it. He comes from another direction, which shows us the differences. And I often get this question, I get this question a lot. I've been asked, how do we know the difference between a sin that was inspired to us from Satan and a sin that is inspired to us from ourselves? How do we know the difference? First of all, God gave us this litmus test or thermometer. 1 month a year, Ramadan, the bad jinn, including Satan, they're gonna be in shackles. They don't whisper to you during Ramadan. This holy month of fasting, no, we can't blame Satan for anything during that month. So that's, first of all, it's a good indicator. You know that whatever bad thing you're doing, that's from yourself. So now you have something, it's not just supernatural, which even supernatural things, Islam gave us tools to fight against it and guard against it. But now it helps to know where that comes from. But there's an extra thing that I learned, not just Ramadan, because waiting for Ramadan could take months. No, there's a different way, which is sins that you insist on comes from you and often comes from an insecurity. If you are making something wrong And you could be good at other aspects, but this one thing you keep doing. Someone could be, very a good Muslim, prayers perfect, fasting perfect, charity perfect, doesn't take bribes at work. But when it comes to women, he can't control his eyes. He just can't. And he watches things that he's not supposed to watch. This comes from you, not from Satan. When there is something that you keep insisting on, this one thing, and we all know, like I just shared, for me, it's looks and, accessories, and I should, as a Muslim, I should not be adorning myself and showing my hair, and no, not in public, not to strangers. No. That's wrong. This is something I should be working on. But when it comes to Satan, if he's trying to whisper to you to do something wrong and he finds that you're strong, you're not going to do it. For example, if Satan tries to whisper to me, like these people, they have feelings for you and they're trying to DM you for months now. It's harmless. Just talk to them. Reply to your DMs. It's okay. Nope. It might start as innocent and God knows where it can lead. So, I lock that door. I don't respond to DMs. No, thank you. No, thank you. Try something else. So he knows that, okay, I'm not going to insist. Because he doesn't care how you disobey God. He doesn't care which aspect do you disobey God in. He just wants you to disobey God, period. So if one aspect you're strong in, he's going to try something else. And that's how you know. When you're inspired to do something wrong that you don't care that much about, you just do it because you don't even know why you did it. But we all know this, especially when we're angry in an argument. No one sets out to do, I'm going to say something hurtful. It just, happens. Often out of character. That's from him. When a sin is just spontaneous, Satan is made of fire. Fire is wild, unpredictable, spontaneous even. That's their nature. The Satans of the world. That's their nature. When the sin is not premeditated, insisting, keep doing this. No. Satan just, if he sees one door locked, he's gonna sneak in from the other one. So be careful.